Hello, YouTube, and welcome to the In Your Head podcast. I'm your host, Jesse. Welcome to the episode 9 podcast, or no, 8, I'm sorry, the episode 8 podcast of the In Your Head podcast with my guest today, Jeffrey Michael. How are you, sir?
I'm okay, thank you.
And glad to have you on, sir.
I'm thrilled to be here. It's gonna be fun.
Cool, we're going to have a good time, I promise you that. But first, in order to start the podcast, it's our statute of initiation.
Uh-oh.
You've heard about it. You know what it is. You knew what you had to bring to the table.
Oh.
So what do you got for our YouTube guests?
You're making me relive my childhood right now. Man, so
a lot of guys went there.
So when I was in the third grade, my teacher would have us, like, if we did good, we'd write down like our names on slips of papers, and we would put our names like in this little jar.
Okay.
And at the end of the week, like, a kid will pull like a name out of the jar, and if you pull the name out, your name's on the paper, you win a big bag of chips.
Okay.
Okay.
All
So
right. Okay.
so it's the end of the week. The teacher's like, Jeff, come here. I want you to pull a name out of the jar for us.
Right.
So at the time, I had a crush on this girl. You know, she was in the third grade. I was crushing hard on her. So I pulled a slip out, and I wanted it to be her name, but it wasn't her name. It was like Jamie or something. So I go, I miscalled the name. I'm like, it's Colleen. Colleen just won a bag of chips. Like, yeah.
So you just called her name.
I called her name. So it was some other girl's name on the slip. You know, it was like Jamie. I was like, it's Colleen. Hey, yeah. I just pocketed it, right? So Colleen wins the big bag of chips. You would think I would get some chips out of that, Jesse, but no. So I had that secret hidden away for all these years. So Jamie, if you're out there, sorry, I owe you a big bag of Lay's chips.
Just get in touch with him. We'll get to his Facebook later. So we'll get in touch with. You can get in touch with him. I think he's going to owe you some.
He's carrying around that burden for 25 plus years.
Get the monkey off.
So that was one. Thank you for stirring that up.
Okay.
So I played a lot of chess tournaments in my day.
Okay.
Like, I went to a lot of state tournaments. Like, this was serious stuff.
Right.
You know,
Okay.
state tournaments. I went to a couple of nationals. So I was at a chess tournament once, and I had the clocks. You know, you hit the clocks for the
Right,
time and all
right.
that. So I was at this chess game once. I was at a tournament. I was taking so long to make a move. My opponent like left the room. You know. So I made a move, hit the clock, and I didn't like it because it was a mistake. So I put it back and like reset the time. They came in, and I was like, no, I'm still thinking. So they leave again. So then I make another move, and it was like then it was like worse off than where I was. So they came in, and I got like destroyed. I was like, oh. So I tried to cheat there and try to put it back.
And it didn't even work.
It didn't even
Worked
work.
out worse.
I put it back, but then I made another move, and it was like worse. I was worse off. Oh man! So that was I looked around, but that was good. So that was two.
And about how old were you in this one?
I was probably like 13.
So early high school.
Yeah, I was
junior high.
junior
Definitely.
high, middle school.
Okay.
Yeah, 13, 14. That was that one. And then the last one, I'm quite the rule breaker, folks.
Yeah, I know this guy.
You know, the last one is not too bad. I'm kind of like a regifter maybe. So like one birthday. Was it? Yeah, I think one birthday I got like the Fast and the Furious 5, or it might have been 6 or 7. You know, they all blur together, right?
So this is more recent. This
is a couple years ago, yeah. So I got Blu-ray Fast and the Furious 5, say, and I'm not a big Fast and the Furious guy, so it was sat on my shelf. They even opened it. It's on my shelf, and someone had like a birthday coming up, so I was like, yeah, I like this. So you know, I wrapped it, and gave it away. But then the person who gave me it, they're like, hey Jeff, did you enjoy Fast and Furious 5? I was like, oh yeah, it was great, thanks. They're like, oh yeah, what was your favorite part?
Oh.
I was like, lucky for me, it was like the Fast and Furious movie, right? I'm like, I really enjoyed the car chase. Like, yeah, that was mine too. I'm like, oh good, yeah, that was it. All right, you got me sweating already, Jesse.
Well, so it didn't have anything to do with who gave you the gift. That person like didn't call you out on it, like
no.
Because, okay.
It was just, you know, I'm not a big DVD guy, like Blu-rays, you know, I like, so I just I was just sitting on a shelf forever, and I'm like, somebody else might enjoy this better. Here you go.
I was more worried that the end of that story was I accidentally regifted it to the person who gave it to me.
Same person.
That's what I was more worried about, which is why when they asked you, they were going to be like, "Oh yeah, how'd you enjoy that movie that you didn't open and sent back to me?"
That's like something out of old school. Like Will Ferrell gets, I forget, he gets like the toaster oven or something, or the waffle maker, and he gives it to Luke Wilson. It's like, I gave this to you. It's like, oh. Sorry. Like similar premise.
It's almost what I was thinking was going to come out of that story for a second.
That would have been bad.
So I gotta ask about we gotta go back to the first story then. So
Oh,
you talk. So you're well. I always got to figure these out. I got to figure out the motives, and I got to figure what was going on. So how long through grade school did you really know the girl, or was this more of a
This was
like
like
grade school?
This was like
crush?
my first crush. Probably second grade through like fifth grade.
Okay.
And then it was like a third grade when it happened. I was like, she was in my class. And I was like, be there. And it was like some girl's name. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make something happen now. I'm gonna call her name out. Yeah, you got it, girl. You won. So I'll just no, you can't see the slip. No, it's going on. No, she won. Slip's gone. But she had no interest anyway. So, but hey,
it was a nice try. That's not.
Hey, see that?
That's not a bad shot.
If a bag of chips can't land a girl, what can? You know what I'm saying?
True. That's true. Especially at that early age.
I know, right?
You're not pulling diamonds out, so a move like that in third grade is pretty good.
Work with what you got.
So
up in third grade.
So what about the chess? So how long really were you into playing chess and or still playing?
I'm still playing actually. Okay. I started playing chess when I was my father taught me when I was young kid, but I was playing maybe fourth grade.
Okay.
Fourth grade started, and I started doing state tournaments when I was fifth grade.
Okay. Wow.
So Somerset, New Jersey, they got the state tournament every year, and I went up there fifth through 12th grade.
Okay.
Yeah, we won a couple
high school.
Yeah. So we won a couple in New Jersey state. I don't know if we ever won like the championship, but we were right up there. We were ranked pretty well.
You're saying it's more something done through the school or the town?
Like, school. Okay. School. You play as individual and with your school.
Okay, so there'd be school, right? Okay.
Yeah, so it's like five person to a team.
Okay.
So 5 person to a team, and like they take like the best scores. So you would play 5 rounds, a tournament, and they would just add up all your wins, and then whoever school has like the most wins will win. First, second, third. So we pulled down a lot of trophies. Brag about. That's right. I had a closet full of those chess trophies.
Yeah, chess club represent.
That's right. There you go. So that was my one move. I was like, I didn't like that move. I'm gonna, they're not here, are they? Okay, I'm gonna put that back. I don't like it. Then I was like, then they came back, and I was like, no, I didn't move yet. And I was like, I'm gonna go this way instead. And I got slammed. I was like, that showed me.
I was into chess a bit when I was younger, but I never pursued it as much as I probably should have. I learned the basics. I learned with my dad a little bit. He taught me basics at chess, but then I guess I never knew a lot of people to play. We didn't have much in school as far as teaching us, so it was more. I knew what I knew. Like, oh, here's a chessboard. Here's how they move.
Okay.
Here's some basic ideas of watching your ass and cover, looking ahead, and things like that. I got that part down, but then the advanced stuff,
right?
And you really start to get. You're like,
I picked it back up. So it's online. You can play people all over the world, which is crazy. Nowadays, and so I'm right there every day. It's hours of wasted time. Because you have like 9 games going at one time. I gotta make a move here and make a move here and click here in the next game. It's a black hole of wasted time.
It's better than Words with Friends.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie. I think that's probably better than Words with Friends. I know a lot of people who are just like, oh, I gotta play Words with Friends. At least this is some kind of intellectual.
See that? It keeps the mind going.
It does. I think that's a heck of a lot better. Or Candy Crush. It's definitely not Candy Crush for sure. So that's a damn good thing. So what that's going to definitely lead me into the first bit of this interview here, because your initial statute of initiation crime here is probably, I'm going to go with your first sleight of hand that you probably tried to pull even as a kid. Not a sleight of hand, but we'll call it sleight of hand, but we'll call it a slight bit of magic that you tried to pull off there.
Trying.
But so I know you're a bit of a magician, as you told us. So I know there's 3 things that, from knowing you over at High Note Humor, and again, shout out to all the High Note guys who I've seen and been talking to about through this. We met you through High Note, and I know that it's been a progression of comedy, magic, and ventriloquism.
Sure.
So, which one of the 3 did start the whole thing?
Magic.
It was definitely magic.
Oh yeah. When I was a little kid, I watched those David Copperfield specials every year. When I was like 8, 9, 10, 11. Every year, the David Copperfield special, come on, the 1-hour special. At the end, he would do something crazy. Statue of Liberty disappears. He would make a train rise and vanish. He would just, fly. And I was like blown away.
Right.
So I always loved magic. I always had the magic sets and kits. When I was growing up, I got them for Christmas and birthdays.
Yeah.
So then I kind of went away. So then when I was in college, the new guy came to the scene, David Blaine.
Right.
And I saw the David Blaine specials, and I was like, I was hooked again. I was hooked all over again.
The street magic got a lot of people. Yeah.
Like, how did that card get in the bottle? So like I had to do that. I had to do that. I wanted to do that stuff. I was hooked immediately. So I got some books and DVDs, got a deck of cards, and I was walking around Rutgers, Camden, doing the magic tricks, my best David Blaine impersonation, the monotone, hey, you want to see some magic, So I love doing magic, close-up magic.
Yeah.
And then I would go to like the different mall and like walk around, try to do magic tricks. I would go to the park and go to people at their park benches. They probably thought I was like some homeless guy,
trying to grift them
they're
for
like
money,
holding on to their purses. Like, what is this guy bothering me for? So yeah. So then I was like, so I started with magic.
Okay.
And then so I was like early 20s, and then you graduate high school, college, you get married, and you get the job, so that's pushed to the back burner.
Of course.
And then I was like probably 33. Like time jump. Like 10 years, and I got the itch again. Right. And then so from there, I became like a full blown magician. Like I started doing like backyard birthday parties, festivals, beef and beers. They would hire me to like walk around table to table and do magic.
So you still stuck with the close-up stuff, though. Even when you came back after the hiatus, it was still you like.
Yeah, you know what? I came back from after the hiatus, close-up magic. I would go to the bars and like practice. The problem was, people would ask me, "Can you do a birthday party for my kid? My kid's turned 7. Can you come over and do magic?"
Right.
And I have like card tricks and coin tricks. I don't think a 7-year-old is going to dig that stuff.
Right. They want to see stuff disappear or something. Yeah.
So after a while, I'm like, I'm not making any money doing card tricks and coin tricks. Maybe I'll go that avenue, right? Okay. So I'll be a kid magician. So I bought up all like the kid magic tricks, like the big scarves and like like the bunnies jumping out of here and like the hats,
Right.
So I got all that stuff. So then I started doing backyard magic shows. I made a Facebook Jeffrey Michael Magic, and like I started doing like friends and family, and then like. Then my name will get tossed around here and there. So I'll do backyard birthday parties, and then I picked up balloon twisting.
Okay.
Because I found when I go to the birthday parties, like the younger kids, like 3, 4, 5, they like get the magic tricks. So I needed something for them to do.
Right.
So I learned balloon twisting. Thanks, YouTube.
Oh, anything on YouTube.
How to make a balloon, sword, hat, turtle, duck. It's all there. Yeah. So I got a couple basics, the hat, a sword, a monkey, a poodle. So there I was, solid 2 years. I was doing magic. I was doing balloon twisting.
Okay.
Solid 2 years. Festivals, 4 hours, Jesse. 4 hours of balloon twisting.
That's a stretch, man.
I would, hot 9-degree weather, balloon twisting. The kids would take it, get out of line, pop it, and jump back in line. So the line was never done. And if I had $1, make me what was it from Wedding Crashers? What was that line?
I didn't see it.
Make me a bicycle clown. Like Vince Vaughn's at a wedding reception trying to make balloon animals, and this one snotty kid comes up to him. He's like, "Make me a bicycle clown." So that was the line I would get a lot. So that was 2 years. So then I was like, let me see what happened then. So then I found a high note humor, because I was like, I need to practice my close-up magic.
Right.
So I went to a bar, and like the manager didn't like me there because I was showing magic at the bar.
Right.
And I was going to the tables, and the manager must have thought I was trying to make money or something like that. So he kind of he's like, you got to go. You can't be here doing that. I'm like, dude, I'm doing you a favor, like you should be paying me for this, right?
Yeah.
So then I found a high note, so at that time I had no stand-up comedy experience at all.
Right.
Like I was on stage a lot from magic shows, because I did variety shows. I did talent shows with magic. I did magic competitions, But
I think the kids' birthday parties would be scariest. To be honest with you, I can stand in front of the room full of adults. I've been up on stage in High Note, but I think being on stage in front of a bunch of 6 and 7-year-olds,
like,
they're the most judging ones. They're just gonna look in your soul, and I think that would probably be scarier than anything. So
it's like a 3-ring circus because you got the parents standing in the back. And then the kids are coming up touching your stuff, and you can't shoo them away because the parents are right there. So you have to look like, hey, yeah, come on up, Johnny. Go ahead. You can mess with that. I don't mind.
So you figured High Note was good.
I was like, I need a place for me to go and practice and perform. There's got to be somewhere out there where I could do that. So I found High Note off of Facebook, and I had no stand-up comedy experience at that time. So I had like a magic slash couple of jokes going in. My first high note experience going in. So they call my name. I have a couple like magic tricks on me. I got some cards. I got a couple of jokes. So I go up. I do like a quick magic trick with my hands, and I tell a joke or two, and then I'm gonna end with this card trick. So I take my cards out. I'm like, all right, I need a volunteer. No, I go, all right, raise your hand, ladies, if you're single. And the girls raised her hand. I'm like, no, I meant to say, raise your hand if you want to help with this next trick. Some girl stuck up her hand. I'm like, that's right, you come up here, dear. So I bring this girl up on, the High Note stage. I'm like, here, take a card, sign the card, shuffle it. Like, I didn't know I only had 5 minutes at this time.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like 4 minutes deep. So 4 minutes in, I bring this girl up to the stage. I have her sign a card, shuffle it. I take out a balloon. I put the cards inside a balloon. I blow up the balloon. I tie the balloon. I got all the cards inside a balloon. I'm shaking it. All of a sudden, I start hearing music in the background.
Oh, they're playing you off.
They're playing me off, right? But I'm like, wow, cool. This guy's giving me some backup music to help with my trick. This is awesome. Thanks, man. This guy gets it, right? So I'm shaking up the cards and the balloon, and the music's getting louder. And they're like, yeah, you got to get off stage. So I'm standing there with this balloon with cards. And they're like ushering me off the stage. So like, yes, have it here for Jeffrey Michael. I'm standing off stage with like this balloon of cards in my hand, and they just go on. The girl leaves the stage. So I'm like, all right. So that was my first experience. So then I was able to fine tune from there. Like I understood 5 minutes. So then off and on, I would show up, and I would say, hey, let me try to stand up stuff. So then I started going into the stand-up avenue of it.
Okay.
And at that time, magic tricks were expensive, balloons were expensive. Right. I wasn't really making that much money back from parties and festivals. So after a while, it just became like time-consuming. You're going 4 hours on a Saturday, 2 hours on a Sunday. You're not really making money. So after a while, it came like kind of like a hassle, like doing it.
Yeah.
It's like, let me put this aside. Let me work on like the stand up because like that's like free. Like jokes don't cost anything, right?
Yeah.
You just write stuff down and try it out.
That's it. Yeah. I guess I can picture the last stand-up magician. I mean, other than Penn and Teller, they're kind of funny, but they're more magic focused. Is the Amazing Jonathan?
I love Amazing Jonathan.
Comes to mind when you think funny and magic. Was a guy that for my younger viewers who haven't seen him, he was I guess back in the 90s, maybe early 2000s. He was a great comic and magician, but a lot of his stuff was, I don't even know if you can call it magic at this point. A lot of the stuff he did, there was some magician's tricks that he would do, and some of them were he did. He had
slapstick magic.
Yeah, that's probably a good word for it. I've never seen like a lot of real tricks that he did, but some of the stuff he did was just funny. He would oh my God, he was one of the first magicians that would do the knife trick on the arm and just like almost saw into his arm and just freak people out and do tricks like that. And he was the guy that would just be funny, and freak you out with awful magic. Like he had one trick, it was hilarious. He goes, "Okay, does anybody have a lighter? Anybody out there have a lighter? Anybody have a lighter?" He goes, "Yeah, here, throw it up to me." Guy throws up the lighter. He reaches under his thing and grabs a bucket, this clear like gallon thing. He goes, "Great, thanks. It's almost full." He puts the lighter in the bucket and puts it back. I was like, "That's brilliant! It was genius!" I just thought it was hilarious. It was barely magic, but if you get a chance, look up the Amazing Jonathan. He used to have a video podcast somewhere, but he's a great magician.
I saw one where he borrowed a $20 bill off a guy. He's like, "Let me borrow a $20 bill." He takes it, he rips it in half. He puts like a magical like the hanky over it. And he goes, abracadabra. He goes, as you can see, the 20 is still ripped. But I don't care anymore. There you go. So he was hilarious.
He was a fun. That's a good mix of humor and magic. I think to really.
Mm-hmm.
Although, like we said, I don't think he really did a lot of magic. I guess he just
slapstick magic.
That's it. Yeah.
But to finish off your question, Jesse. So magic into the stand up. So at the time, I always watch America's Got Talent. I love America's Got Talent. You know, for the magicians, the comedians on there. I just love that show. Then I saw ventriloquist. Paul Zerdin came on, and I didn't really like ventriloquist at the time, you know, but he came on and he brought his puppets to life, and he was hilarious, funny, and I got that David Blaine feeling again, like whoa, because he's bringing these puppets to life and looks so real, you know, it's like a fairy tale world he's creating on stage. Yeah. And I was hooked again. It's like I want to do that now. I want to do that. So I got myself a dummy and I just started going to open mics and practicing with my dummy, and I was trying that now because, you know, I find comedians overall are more funny than ventriloquists. You know, overall comedians are funnier than ventriloquists. But I would say it's easier to be a comedian than a ventriloquist. In my opinion.
But there's a lot more to learn, I think. I mean,
so much more moving parts going on.
Yeah, and seeing what, you know, I think each ventriloquist I've ever seen, I think I have to say that each one has a thing. There was the first one that kicked a lot of ass on America's Got Talent. Terry Fader. He was amazing. I mean, and he had again, I don't want to call it a gimmick, but he had
he would sing. His puppets would sing.
He was a ventriloquist. For anybody who doesn't know, I don't know how you don't. He could pretty much do A, ventriloquism, and B, in any singing voice he wanted, which was incredible. I mean, for lack of better words, it was incredible. So to see that, and to see any ventriloquist, Jeff Dunham's great, but he kind of wears on you a little while.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
His stand-up's not bad. When he starts a show, before every show, he does a bit of stand-up.
Okay.
And he's okay as a stand-up comedian, but I think each stand-up person should have a little bit of something as as a thing, yeah. Because like we said, Terry Fader is Terry Fader. There's no real way to see it. There's a female ventriloquist who
Nina Conti.
Nina Conti, thank you. I'm terrible with names, folks.
It's okay.
Who've seen this know it probably.
Another ventriloquist, that's me.
And I think that the stuff she does is pretty different.
I saw her in New York.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe a year or two ago. I saw her in New York, and she took the subway up, and she's great. She has this little monkey.
Yep.
Little monkey.
Monk, yes.
Monk is the man. Yes. It's hilarious.
Right.
So she can make it work. She's hilarious.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that that's kind of a thing that a lot of ventriloquists don't have. You know, just having, I mean,
right.
Once you see every Peanut and Bubba J joke that he can bring out, it's like, okay, it stops being funny. And
I find most ventriloquists not funny. I find most of them are boring, not funny, not, unoriginal.
Yeah.
You know, and I saw Paul Zerdin, and I was like, wow, I want to try to do that now, you know.
So why don't we bring Ollie out here?
Ollie.
Why don't we bring Ollie out? We don't have to go into Ollie mode. We don't have to. No.
That's fine.
I just want to. I mean, Ollie is a great pick. I'm gonna say Ollie. This is Ollie. Let's get Ollie in frame.
There's Ollie, right? Oh,
there's Ollie. Yep, there's Ollie. So I do love Ollie. So what made you pick Ollie of your? I mean, I guess he's one of your first.
Well, you know what? Hang on. I'm gonna put Ollie down for a minute.
Okay.
Ollie, come here. Take a nap.
Sit down, Ollie.
So Jesse, I brought with me my first ventriloquist guy.
Oh, okay. Oh, so a legit ventriloquist dummy.
This
wow.
This is a real deal dummy.
Holy cow! Okay.
There you go. So.
Oh wow! Yeah. So you can definitely see he's got the.
So this is Emmett, and at the time I was into juggling, balloon twisting. So when I picked the ventriloquist dummy, I wanted something to kind of fit that part of me, you know. So he's from the circus, and his name's Emmett. And I haven't really practiced with Emmett. He's hard figure.
Yeah.
Hey, watch it. I'm sorry. It's okay. But I used to take Emmett with me to open mics, and he would do you could tell he looks very depressed.
Yeah,
not happy.
Sad clown face. Yeah, the hobo clown. Actually, more hobo than clown. I think it's.
Yep, his ripped clothes. So I would do open mics with Emmett, and it turned out, Jesse, who knew, but many people don't like clowns.
No, there's a lot of people terrified of them, as a matter of fact.
So a lot of people don't like clowns. So I worked with Emmett. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Hey. But and then a lot of people didn't like clowns, so you kind of like negative feedback, like, oh, it's a clown. So I was like, all right, go away, Emmett. I said, let me find something like different from Emmett. And so I went online. I found this guy. Hey.
I've always loved Ollie ever since you've been bringing him to High Note. I do love the way he is. He does have a lot
Look,
more happy. I
Look
mean,
at him.
he shows up great on camera. He's happy. The eyes are great. I mean, I do have a puppet myself. I have a Muppet from the Jim Henson
Okay.
Muppet Whatnot Factory, and actually he was in your podcast with
Oh,
over on
right.
Plus too.
Oh, there you
he
go.
was one of the Muppets being featured on that podcast. But
Look at
like
him.
the detail he's
Happy.
got, yeah. I mean, I've seen a lot of these little monster Muppets, and the question I wonder, as far as something that you would do with him, or maybe you would or wouldn't, is why you haven't added like a hand control onto him.
I do
like a
have
hand
one.
stick. Okay.
I have one at home, and it's basically like a metal rod.
Yeah.
That hooks onto his hand, and then with that, I'm able to control one of his arms.
Yeah.
I haven't really found it necessary.
Okay.
As of right now. Using that, for me right now, it's probably just more of like a distraction for me. It's like
Right.
one more moving piece, right? I
True.
got to deal
Yeah,
with.
I hear you.
Right now, I got to deal with the head and like the mouth and his mannerisms,
Yeah.
and like I got to concentrate on like the content. So I think that's just gonna be one more thing for me to
Understood.
work on.
Yeah, no,
so
I hear you.
I could probably get to it. Probably make him look more.
Well,
like,
I just wondered if there was a choice in it. That's all. I wondered if it was something
Oh,
that he
yeah.
had or didn't have.
No,
and
he
that's
came
why-
with it.
Yeah.
I'm sure he would appreciate it if I used it, right? Give him the use of an arm.
Yeah, instead of just kind of hanging out, chilling, he's all quadriplegic, hanging out on wherever you put him at the point in time. Sorry, Ollie, what do you want me to tell you? But so what about the development of the voice of Ollie, or was it the first voice that really you were able to do? 'Cause
No,
I
I
know
was-
Ollie's voice is a few octaves over yours.
Yeah. So
Um,
so what happened was Noah was doing a podcast at the tap room, and he was
Oh,
interviewing.
we're going back to this story.
No,
Okay.
this is how I got his voice. So Noah's calling people back, and then I went back and I was like, oh, Noah's interviewing the same people over and over and over again. I was like, let me give him something different to talk about. So I took out Ollie, and Ollie had like my voice somewhat. So I was like, hey, Noah, how you doing? Hey. Yeah, it wasn't like that. It was like, hey, how you doing? I got to resort back to what it was before.
Right.
Like, hey, Noah, how you doing? Hey, how you doing, Noah? How you doing? So then Will was like, hey, you guys sound the same. And he was giving me crap for like having the same voice. So I kind of got like mad about that. I'm like, yeah, I'll show you. So I went home and I listened to it, and he's right. So obviously, when you have like a puppet, you guys want to look and sound as distinct as possible.
Right.
So I got like the deep, manly voice naturally.
Oh, yeah.
So
Of course.
so I gave Ollie like a higher hello, like a higher.
It does fit him. Too.
Fits him better,
It
right?
does fit the look of him, because obviously.
Thank you.
Yeah, he's got a great voice. That's why I wondered how much development, because I'm not a ventriloquist, and I've seen like, you see Jeff Dunham, and you see each one. I mean, just for example, but you see each thing that he makes,
right.
and I wonder like how it goes into like what
It's a
you
lot.
do. Yeah, like okay, so each guy, here's his look, here's his voice,
Right,
here's
right,
his
right.
mannerisms.
Sure.
So I wonder like how much of that went into
For-
Ollie, and what you were thinking when you did that.
So yeah, for example, Emmett the clown, he's like a drunken, depressed clown, so he has like a raspy, how you doing, type of deeper
Yeah.
voice. Ollie, I settled on the how you doing, guys? Hey, this is a great podcast. Thank you for having me. Hey. So I like it.
More
So-
of a Sesame Street kind
more
of
of a-
friendly tone, right?
Yes, more of a Sesame Street. And how can you not like that face?
No,
You know?
I love it. I think he's fantastic.
So then I was like, all right. So then I started coming up. Now I'm kind of working on like Ollie, I should say, is working on impressions.
Right.
He is. So Ollie, what about Keanu Reeves? Whoa,
See?
whoa. Say, oh, he's showing off now.
Right.
What about Morgan Freeman? Can you do Morgan Freeman? This is Morgan Freeman. Okay, very good. All right, very good. Matthew McConaughey. All right. So
wow.
yeah, so I'm trying to work on impressions to
Right.
incorporate for Ollie to do on stage now.
Right.
It's kind of where I'm headed. So so right now I have pieces of things. So like for example, like I would on stage. I bring a blindfold, and I would blindfold Ollie over here. And the funny shtick is obviously he can't see because he's a puppet, but that's like the running gag.
Yeah.
But now you got the blindfold on him, and this opens up the door for like more of an avenue. Like, all right, Ollie, and I say he's a mentalist, guys. He can do magic. Watch this, Ollie. How many fingers am I holding up? 3. Jeez, he's pretty good, right?
Right.
5. He's right every time. I don't know how he does it, And then I could have Ollie, like think of hey Ollie, I'm thinking of a playing card. 2 hearts, correct.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of avenues I'm trying to deal with Ollie. The magic side of me is trying to incorporate magic tricks.
So it's a good like triangle. It's the magic, using the magic almost again. I guess if we go with the term, the slapstick magic with the comedy, because I mean, with that kind of magic, you got to have the funny in there, and then the ventriloquism, which is
right.
So I think so it's like a good triangle of all 3 things to really put together.
I do, yeah, because I think like there's stand-up comedy on one side, there's pure magic on the other side, and like in the middle there's like ventriloquism, because that's like bringing an inanimate object to life. That's magic right there. Yeah. Hey,
no, I agree.
Yeah.
And he is great. He's been fun. Every time I watch you on stage, it's always fun to see some of the tricks you pull, because I do like the mentalist jokes, the tricks like that and stuff like that. It's funny,
It's funny,
and
right?
you've been pulling the mentalist ones you've pulled are fun, and I should tell people, get out the high note and check him out when he comes out here, because some of the mentalist jokes and stuff you do are pretty good, and it's good comedy. They're good, like on point. Like my memory's shot, but I can never remember them. But some of they're funny bits that you bring, and that's it's a good. It's great to watch.
Thank you, Jesse. It's all trial and error. If something doesn't work, Ollie will just never do it again. Or we'll try it once or twice.
Ollie will forget that joke. Yep.
Ollie will forget it. But I have there's many moving pieces. Like he's doing like impressions. I'm working on impressions for him. The magic tricks for him. He's got like a twisted backstory from Sesame Street. It's kind of like, what would you like if Ollie was on Sesame Street, and he had to write a tell-all book? What really goes down when the camera stopped rolling? You don't want to know. I'm sure I don't.
I would now see that might be an interesting VH1 behind the Ollie that we might have to check out at some point on YouTube.
So I like to imagine like Ollie was fired from Sesame Street, and then he's gonna write a tell-all book of like, what does the count really up to? What does Elmo do when the camera's not rolling?
Well, you have to get in on some of the 2017 sexual harassment lawsuits that have been going around. I think Ollie will have to find his way into that that dark corner.
Make it current. But I'm sticking with Ollie because the problem was I would flip back from Emmett to Ollie to one other, and you're not gonna get any better, in my opinion, doing that. It's kind of like if you play guitar, violin, trumpet, and you keep flipping every week to a different instrument, you're really not going to go anywhere. So I'm trying to like master one thing at a time.
No, it's
So right now, and Ollie could get down many avenues. If I have Emmett the Clown out, it's kind of like Carnival Circus bits. Ollie could go like anywhere. Sesame Street, magic, politics. Don't get me started. Okay, I'm sorry.
Ollie takes it deep and dark sometimes. I've noticed he doesn't mind going there. He doesn't mind going to the deeper corners of the internet. So,
like, what were you telling me the other day? You saw the Count. Well, the Count was at a strip club. He was at a strip club. He was. Really? Does he spend a lot of money? He does. But it takes him for to make it rain. Really? Get out of here. Why is that? Because he's always like, $1 bill, $2 bill. Okay. All right, thank you for that. So now we know what the Count's up to after hours of Sesame Street. So yeah, he's my go-to guy here.
So what's been some of the hardest parts you've had learning the ventriloquism part? Because that's obviously not. I mean, you picked it up recently, so it's not something that, like you said, it's new. So
it's new, within 2 years.
So what's been some of the hardest parts of learning?
There's like 5 letters that you can't make without moving your lips. Right. So obviously there's 26 letters to the alphabet. 5 you can't do. There's letter B. Right. So I always say ball. No. Say you want to do it. You know what I'm saying? You want to do it. So like B, M, P, and there's like 2 more. So it's like V. But so it's trying to retrain your mouth, your sounds. Right. So they say instead of saying ball, You can't do the B, ball. Change the B to a D. It'll come out doll. So, that doesn't sound right either, does it? So they say change the B for a D, but then your tongue will have to help out with that. So doll, 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 doll. So it's like replacing the letter M with N, replacing the letter P with T. So it's just retraining your sounds in your mouth.
Right. Okay.
So I think that's the biggest problem. It's like ventriloquism 101 right there.
Right. The reflex you seem to have that between you and him, as far as the talking and working with him.
Yeah, that's another part of it. Because I think when I first started, like I will sit there and I'll be talking, hey, and he'll be like lifeless. And then when he was talking, I would just be looking around. Like, so it's supposed to obviously look real, like we're two separate characters, going back and forth. So it's a lot of moving parts.
Yeah, it really is. So, Ollie, thank you too for joining us here. I'm glad you managed to make it out here today.
Oh, no problem. I actually enrolled Ollie in speech therapy to work on those 5 letters. When are you gonna figure it out, Ollie? Come on, we're all counting on you and waiting on you, man. It's your fault. Shh, it's not my fault. Quiet.
He's gonna blame you.
All right, Ollie.
Sorry, Ollie. All right, Ollie. Thank you for joining us.
Hey, no problem. Okay. All right. Go back in your case. Yeah.
Oh man, well, no, thank you, man. Ollie's great.
I love Ollie. He's my go-to.
It's been great watching you come through with all this stuff too. So, but I got to ask you, as a bit of a geek, so not so much of a theater and entertainment geek as that, but I'm a video game geek. So I got to ask you, what is your favorite video game?
What a question. You know what, Jesse? So I was born in 1980.
Okay.
So I got everything.
You went through Nintendo.
I went through it all.
Of it,
So
right?
I remember in 1987, I think my older brother got Nintendo, the NES.
There we go.
So every night it was Mario and Duck Hunt. We had that power pad. We got to run, and we used to cheat. We used to not use our feet. We used to bang on it with our hands. To make the guy go faster. So I went through everything. Nintendo, it was Mario, it was Contra, Punch-Out, Zelda, all the big.
All the good classics.
And then Super Nintendo came out. Street Fighter 2.
Okay.
And my brother had all these systems. I didn't have them. So he would charge me $0.25 or 50 cents if I could play for 10 minutes,
Wow.
So 50 cents, let me play, Ken and Ryu for 10 minutes,
Oh, man.
So here's the games I remember. So Super Nintendo was Street Fighter 2. And then fast forward, when I was like 1990, I got my Sega Genesis. Sonic the Hedgehog. Yeah. So I got Sonic the Hedgehog, and then what came out? Mortal Kombat.
You went right back to the fighters.
Mortal Kombat came out. Fatalities. My goodness. Sub-Zero ripping the head off, So then let me see. So if it came down to it, my favorite video game of all time.
I mean, we can even go arcade. If there's an arcade game that you can't walk
I
past
remember
without throwing quarters.
There was WrestleFest, Hulk Hogan Ultimate Warrior, WrestleFest.
Yeah.
So many quarters. Legion of Doom would beat me every time. Hey, you Legion of Doom. Every time, so many quarters. Couldn't do it. And Double Dragon. That was my game, Double Dragon,
Another
for the
classic.
longest time.
Yeah, because I don't want to limit it to consoles.
It's
I know
okay.
people had a lot of
Tekken, a little Tekken,
see, there
little
was-
Tekken here and there.
But what would you have to say is the top?
You know what? Top 2, it will come down to either Street Fighter 2 or Mortal Kombat, and I think we're gonna go with Mortal Kombat for the win.
Okay, he's a Mortal Kombat guy.
Got
That's fair.
Xbox One right now, Mortal Kombat X. We're still rocking it. It's 25 years later,
They're
so
still making them, yeah. I mean, and still, it still seems to be 2 different schools because there's a Street Fighter school and there's the Mortal Kombat school. Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter, the 2 games couldn't be any more different the way they play. But
Yeah,
they've.
I try to get. I went to GameStop. I got Street Fighter 4 Turbo, and man, there's like 55 characters. It's all like watered down, saturated. I'm like, get out of here.
Mortal Kombat's got a lot too. To be fair, they got a bunch,
They
and they just
do.
keep releasing more and more. So that's they're cranking them.
Yeah, I would go Mortal Kombat franchise. Is that where I would go?
Well, which game? I always tell people no franchise. You got to pick the one.
Pick the one.
Pick the one good Mortal Kombat.
You got to go original. How do you
Mortal
go?
Kombat.
You got to go Mortal Kombat. I used to walk to 7-Eleven with my $2 in quarters. Put in the machine. Scorpion all day. Scorpion with the harpoon to the chest. Yes. Get over here. Uppercuts.
Okay.
You know?
Nice, I like
It's
it.
like it's like up, blue button, and then he pulls his face off, and the guy shoots. I'm sorry,
No,
I'm
I
reliving
get
my
it.
childhood right now.
Some of those games, they were great games. I mean, you saw back in the day, kids could stay at an arcade or even at like a pizza parlor
Yeah,
that just had that one game where you could just go there and it was you and your three friends, whatever. And there's the quarters right across the top of that bad boy with each person who had
You-
next game.
you would put
And-
quarters down. That's how you do it.
Yeah,
you would.
and you
put,
had the quarters, and
that's
that was
next.
it. And you had next, and that's just and it was always, and you could see even for a place that wasn't an arcade, that machine would be cranking almost all day. So games like that would haul people in, and
Mhm.
I love the classics myself. And as I've told everybody over here, there's an arcade cabinet just off screen that's
Ooh.
loaded with. Yeah, so we might have to get on that after the. But it's got a bunch of arcade games. So I mean, I'm a fan of the old stuff, and I know how much nostalgia there is in it. And when you pull those old games and you go, oh my god, and you play that game and hear those old sounds and that old feel, and there's something about it that brings that old Mortal Kombat. That Mortal Kombat XL is great, and you're playing and you're like, okay, this is fun. It's brutal. But when you get that nostalgia sometimes, and it just goes, you know what? It was that memory of playing with my friends and doing a fatality on my friend when he's right there. You do a fatality on somebody online, you're across the globe, you're never going to see said person, and now all of a sudden you're like, your buddy's this close to you while you're in the game, and now you just fatality that guy, and then that really hits home a lot more. And I think that's a damn good choice as far as the way to burn them.
Whose head's rolling now, man?
That's
Yeah,
it.
Johnny Cage, uppercut, head goes flying.
I'm telling you,
No
man.
more.
So before the show started,
Yeah.
I gave you a piece of paper with 11 circles on it. A lot of my viewers will be familiar with the 11 circle test at this point. So I gave you a few minutes and let you fill this out.
You did.
And so as the viewers can now see, this is what you drew.
There it is.
So now this one has a lot going on. This is a lot going on as far as what's happening, but I can see a lot of what you've talked about.
Yeah.
For the previous from the previous segment. I can see a lot of what you're talking about. I can see up here in the top we've got the ventriloquist dummy.
Yep, there you go.
And the bunny. I'm guessing you had more rabbit tricks.
Magic bunny.
Okay, cool. There were some magic bunnies.
It's-
And the two of hearts. I do notice that's where you went first. That was the first thing you drew when you went in there was the two of hearts.
Yeah.
So is that your kind of like, I know Penn and Teller use a three of clubs with a lot of their.
It's two of hearts.
When a card trick, so yours is the
Yeah.
two of hearts
Yeah.
when you go there with that. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm like magic kind of mindset driven. So it's mostly magic based. So we have the two of hearts. We have kind of like a magician maybe looking off, looking at the card. We got the ventriloquist dummy because that's part of me. We got a bunny just for throw it in the magic realm. We got these more playing cards, Ace of Diamonds, Three of Clubs. We got Hocus Pocus, Presto, some sayings.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
Magic. That's kind of like where the creative part is.
It's definitely interesting to see where your head goes with it all in the two of hearts. So any reason for the other two cards then? I gotta ask. I have to see what other reason there might be for the other two.
Ace of Diamonds. It's just most people you say name any playing card, they'll name it Ace. So that's just one of the cards that came to my mind. Three of Clubs, we just went with a contrast to the two of hearts. Sometimes we'll do a card switch where one person will have the two of hearts, I'll have the three of clubs, and then you do like a magical move, and then the cards would transpose, change places.
Right.
So kind of setting
and
that
so that's
motion.
a little easier way to see it. Is a card like that. Okay. I hear you. All right. So it's
a little contrast.
No, it's good to see where you go with it, but the 3D Vanish at the bottom, I kind of like. You did a little orange and blue in there. Vanish is almost it's a little eye wavy there on the way it looks, but I like it. So, what was trying to go on here in the middle? I got to ask with the blues. What started there?
On my shoulder, I actually have a tattoo of a playing card. It has J in the middle. For like my own personal playing card on my shoulder.
Okay.
And it has like lightning shooting out all around it. So I kind of went there with that. So I drew the playing card, and then kind of like it's electric, it's coming to life. So I kind of drew some like sparks around it going off there.
Cool.
Yeah. So kind of
it's
jump off the page.
Right. No, it's your ink. It's your symbolism, which I get. So I get it. I didn't know about the tattoo, so I was.
Yeah. So it's a part of me.
No, I got my ink as well. So we've all got our part of us that we have it for reasons, but I can see it's definitely very magic oriented for you as far as the things you brought with that. So, So what we got to do though is I got to ask everybody this question. So I always take it down a notch here.
Okay.
And this one gets a little dark always, but it's not too bad. So if you died today,
Okay.
like today was the end of things, how would you feel about the life you've led? How would you, what would you think about the life that you've led? Now, I don't want to say like, oh, I didn't do everything I wanted to do. I know we're
Sure.
not, we're not 80, so, but I mean, as far as how you've lived your life and
Sure.
things like that.
I would feel complete, because I think if I don't have the meaning of life or anything like that,
No.
but I think if you live your life and you're following what you're passionate about, that's what your life is, for is following your passions. Like if you asked me this question maybe 6 years ago, I would say I feel kind of empty, because like if I examine my 20s, like I think I lived my 20s like going off a checklist. It's like graduated college, got the job, I got married, got the house, had 2 kids, all by 28, and then like I woke up and I was 33. I'm like, well, what's happening?
Yeah.
So then look what I did in my 30s. I became a magician. I started doing stand-up comedy, ventriloquism, balloon twisting. So I think in my 30s I started following what I was passionate about.
Yeah.
So, and I think if you live your life, don't be scared to try things. Like you
Yeah.
don't want to wake up 75 and say, "Oh man, I wish I acted, or I wish I danced, or I wish I took up music."
Right.
It's like you're never too old to start those things, but why not do it now?
Yeah.
Like, what are you waiting for?
Right.
So I think I'm able to say I'm following the things that I want to do.
Yeah.
I followed it. I pursued magic. I took it where I wanted to go. I'm doing stand-up comedy now. I'm a good person. I got the family. I'm also following what I want to do in life. I'm following my passions, and I think that's a good thing.
Yeah. No.
I think if you're sitting at home and you say, "Oh well, they're not going to accept me. They're not going to like me. I'm not good enough." You're watching the parade go by.
That's it.
You're watching the parade go by. Like, I want to be in the parade.
That's it.
I want to be in the parade. I want to be in front of the parade as it goes. I don't want to be on the sideline watching it go by.
Which is awesome.
And I think that's like a metaphor for life. Don't just watch it go by. Like you gotta. This is your show.
Yeah, it seems so many people nowadays, especially in a TV-driven generation. I mean, unfortunately, I'm trying to tell somebody to sit here and watch my podcast for an hour an episode, but a lot of what people do is they spend a lot of time watching television. They have more to talk about television shows than their own life and the things they do and their own experiences. And I mean, it's a bit of a shame, but it's good to see. I mean, it's awesome that some people still get out there and do chase the things they want to chase.
Don't be scared. Don't be scared. I would say follow the things you want to do. Don't wait. Don't be scared. Step out from the be seen and do it.
Exactly. I'm 100% on you with that. I mean, I wish I almost didn't believe in that because I have too many damn hobbies. So so
no, okay.
I would like.
I try to cut back.
Well, I should a little bit, but and I know that, and I know as soon as my wife sees this podcast, she's gonna be like, "Yeah, you have too many hobbies. Knock it off."
No, like I woke up and 33, like I was clean cut, clean shaven, going to work every day, and like I tell people, I feel like I was like plugged into the Matrix.
Yeah.
Like just same thing every day, clean cut, clean shaven, and so when I started doing magic, like I grew my hair out. I don't know if you know that. Like I had really long hair.
Yeah, I didn't know you before.
Last year, like I had hair. I grew my hair out like it was mid back. Okay. I told myself, I was like, look, I'm gonna start doing magic, and I'm gonna go all in on this.
Yeah.
And the way I'm gonna prove it to myself is I'm gonna grow my hair out, and as long as I'm doing magic, I'm just gonna let my hair grow. And like it's kind of like I'm gonna prove to myself I'm gonna do this.
Right.
I'm not gonna just say I'm gonna do it and not do it. So I grew my hair out like over 2 years.
Okay.
And it was like, and then I finally got a cut. They actually donated it because it was so long.
Oh, nice.
They donated it, yes, to make a wig. So I think because I proved my point. I was like, I grew like the goatee out. I had the long hair. I had the hair bun going to work. I was like, hey, this is what I want to do now. Like,
yeah,
I call that unplugging from the Matrix. I unplugged and I did my thing,
and it's fantastic. It's awesome, and I mean, you keep bringing the stuff that we see at High Note. You bring the, I mean, with the comedy and with Ollie and everything else. It's great to see more, especially more people coming out there. That a lot of people come out there afraid to get on stage. Like even I'm mostly the DJ at High Note. For anybody who's seen High Note, I'm mostly the DJ, but I have gone on stage just more or less to say, hey, I want to be up there. I want to see if I can do it. And a lot of people don't want to step up and see what they can do in life, and they get scared to do do a lot of things. People are afraid to fail. You can't be afraid to fail.
You can't be afraid to fail. And you know what? I accepted that. Like, you can't be afraid to bomb. And like, I know that. Like, if I'm on stage, you have fun with it. You know, it's not working. You just smile. I'm like, you guys didn't like that one, huh? All right.
Nope.
All right, just move on to the next. Like, you have to accept failure.
Yeah.
You know, you have to almost fail before you move to the next level.
Anything in life. Yeah. I mean, I'm a woodworker in my spare time. I make pens. I do small woodworking projects. There's many projects I've ruined horribly. I'm not embarrassed to say it. I mean, I've destroyed some pieces of wood. I've destroyed some nice pens. It happens, and you got it. But oh, I did this wrong. So you can take that with anything. Anything you do wrong, you're going to fail. You're going to come back, and you're going to know what you're doing next time to be able to learn from it. And that's what people need to do. They need to just not be afraid to fail. Get out there and live your life so you can do these sorts of things. But I'm going to ask you a new question, which leads off of what we're talking about perfectly. I'm adding a new little section here into this, into the interview process. If you could go back and live one point of your life forever.
Oh, wow.
One point of your life that you could stay there forever. I mean, maybe not a day, but like a general time of your life. Where would you go back to?
Wow. If I can go back to one point, just like relive it like Groundhog Day.
Yeah, like maybe a day or ish, something like that. Because I know a day is tough. But
this is going to come off cheesy and corny, Jesse.
Probably not, but
I would say. So I met my wife now back in 2000. We've been together 17 years. So I think if I can go back and like just go back over his first few weeks and months of dating, like because it was so I hate to throw the word magical out, but I'm gonna do it. YouTube. Magical.
Fuck it, YouTube.
That's right.
He's going there.
It's so cheesy and corny, I know, but it was like meeting her and then going out and then finding out you click and you get that butterflies in the stomach.
Yep.
You know, you just want to see the person again and again. You get the butterflies.
I hear you.
And I hate the cash out on your question.
No, it's not. I wonder. I started thinking about this because I have the previous question, which is like, hey, how would you feel about your life?
Yes.
But it kind of led me into, well, where's the point in your life where you would want to be? Like, I'm going to have to do some research because I did add this question very recently.
It's great. I would keep it.
Oh no,
for the record, keep the question.
But I have to do some research because I believe there's a religious belief, an ancient religious belief. So if anybody knows it, please put it down in the comments. If you know what this is before I do, but I believe there was an ancient religion or even a current one that if you're good, almost the heaven is you go to that point in your life and you stay in that time of your life forever, and that's what heaven is, or the afterlife for people who were good. And that's what I remembered, and I thought that would be, that's kind of how I came to this, and that's what I thought. If I'm looking at the bad side of it, where would people also want to go if that happened? And that's where this kind of came from.
Not to throw my kids under the bus, when my child was born, let me take that back. When my kids were born, no. I would go back when I met my wife.
No, I hear you. Right. No, it's a hell of a. It's always a hell of a time when you find that person. So like I said, I mentioned I'm married, so it's the same sort of thing. It's you have that feeling, and it's.
Of course, now I'm off the hook for trying to get Colleen a bag of chips back in 3rd grade. Okay, honey. So now we're good.
As far as she knows, you weren't on a podcast. I guess you're gonna have to share with her. I don't know, but. So before every podcast, I also make an ink blot for every single one of my guests. I make an individual ink blot that I custom make for each guest. It's not something pulled out of a book. It's not something that should say anything about what you see or anything like that. So it doesn't say like, oh, well, if you don't see this, we're going to put you in a room somewhere. So I make these images for my guests. And this is what Jeffrey Michael is looking at here. He's looking at this particular one. I mean, if you want to hold it that way or flip it, whatever you want to see.
I'm going to hold it like this. You hand it to me this way.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to go it this way. Okay. This looks like kind of like, I'm looking like maybe at a, looks like maybe, I want to say a robot. Maybe like here's the head. You got the arms right here, the legs. You maybe a little antenna. Maybe maybe it looks like almost like maybe from Mario, like one of, what do you call it, like a Goomba? Like you pop on their heads. Looks like
The
a
top
mushroom.
part's a Goomba.
Yeah,
Yeah, I can
yeah,
definitely
yeah.
see that. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like maybe like a villain maybe out of a video game.
Okay.
You know, maybe you have to fight maybe on
Yeah.
a level. You got to pop on their heads. You know, to take them out.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm definitely seeing like a maybe like a robot or a villain from like a video game that might. I go villain. Why not hero, Jeff? You know, right? That's where I'm going. Why not hero, Jeff? I
No,
don't
he
know.
does. It does. Well, black aside, but it does seem to have a darker feel to it with the shape. It does
yeah.
seem to have a look.
Or if I want to look at something different, maybe I got two eyes right here. You know,
Yeah.
I got the two white holes in the middle, and maybe two eyes. Maybe like a dark figure. You know, looking at me.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna stick to my guns, Jesse, and I'm gonna go with like maybe like Baymax. You know, maybe Big Hero 6.
Baymax on a diet.
Yeah, Baymax.
Baymax slimming down.
This is Baymax slimming down a little bit, folks. There you go. Let's keep it light. Let's keep it happy here. So there you go. Baymax, character in a video game or a robot is from Jeffrey Michael. That's what I see.
I like it. Well, it's yours to keep, sir. He's yours
sweet.
to hang on to.
Thank you.
So you can do as you see fit with that. But I want to thank you for being on my podcast, sir.
You're
it was
welcome.
an absolute pleasure having you on, sir.
Thank you.
So, is there anything else? I mean, you do have your Facebook that you mentioned earlier, Jeffrey Michael Magic.
I don't. Sorry, I don't do magic anymore. You know, I'm done the birthday parties. But if you want to go to Jeffrey Michael Magic and see some of the videos I posted or and look at the cool balloon animals I made, do that.
Okay, and he is at High Note every so often when we can get him out there when he gets some new material.
Every Wednesday night.
He's out there Wednesday night at High Note, folks. If you're not there, it is a great open mic that I'm a part of. Jeffrey Michael shows up to every so often, and it is a fantastic bunch of guys coming out for an open mic to make you laugh, to have a great time, and music, food, fun, everything like that. So show up, come show us some support. And I think as of the time of when this is going to be airing, we're going to be just before the stand-up championships, which I believe you are going to be involved in.
Signed up for the stand-up championships. Me and
The
Ollie.
South Jersey stand-up champion. Well, now he's revealing his trump card. He is bringing out Ollie, folks. So Ollie will be there. If that gets you out there, they get you out there. South Jersey stand-up championship. Check him out on the High Note page as well. So you can get out here and see Jeffrey Michael, see when he's going to be out there. And if you check him out on Facebook, you can probably see what day he's going to be performing. So come out, see these guys, show them your support. They all need it. They're great comics. So come out there and enjoy it and have a good time. So, Ollie, anything else you want to add?
He's not that good. Hey, I'm fantastic. You know what? You can walk home, man. I'm just kidding. He's great. Thank you. See that?
Hey, Ollie. Way to go, Ollie. Be a bigger man, Ollie. So, everybody, thanks again. Like and subscribe down below, and keeps me making these videos if you subscribe. And this way you can get the new videos when they come out to you. Check these guys out. Check out Jeffrey Michael and Ollie down at the tap room in Haddonfield. And as always, don't forget your toilet poncho, everybody. Have a good one.